So our continuation class, the continuation concept is photovoltaic systems. So which is the fastest and very required improving technology nowadays. So that's why here, what is this photovoltaic system? See here, you are already listened so many of times in your daily life. Solar power, solar power. So you are already saw so many of solar panels at your agriculture sites and on your top of the building. So what is this solar power generation? Solar panels, photovoltaic systems. See here. First we will define what is mean by photovoltaic effect. See here. This photovoltaic effect utilizes solar radiation. Simply we can define this. The photovoltaic effect is a process that generates voltage or electric current in a PV cell when it is exposed to sunlight. This is the basic definition of photovoltaic effect. Photo means photoelectrons, photons, or light energy. Voltaic means voltage. That means photo energy, that means energy of photons or light energy can be converted into voltage. This effect is called photovoltaic effect. Based upon this particular principle, all PV cells or solar cells or solar panels are worked. Based upon this particular principle, the solar panels are worked. What is that means? A process that generate voltage or electric current when a sunlight is exposed to PV cell. This is called photovoltaic effect. That means here in the photovoltaic effect, we can use PV cell. This PV cell is a device or material. What is the function of a PV cell means? Which can convert sunlight into electrical energy or solar radiation into electrical energy or solar energy into electrical energy. And what happens in our environment nowadays means these PV cells are connected in a large scale manner. That means a large amount of solar modules or PV modules are installed on ground. PV installations are maybe on ground, mounted, rooftop mounted, wall mounted, or floating. These PV modules are fixed or otherwise which can be rotated to track the sunlight from the sun here. Large amount of PV modules are installed nowadays for the large scale power generation in our environment. Only because of this photovoltaic power generation is a pollution free power generation and there is no initial fuel cost. There is no fuel required for the photovoltaic power generation. That's why we are go for photovoltaic power generation. This is a simple PV cell here. This is the sunlight emitted from the sun. And what happens when sunlight is emitted from the sun means electrons are flow. First, this photovoltaic effect was observed by Becquerel. But before the Becquerel, first this phenomenon was stated by Einstein. What is that Einstein effect? Is photoelectric effect. Whenever a monochromatic light beam is illuminated on a metal plate, the electrons are came out from that metal plate. That is nothing but photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect. Due to that photoelectric effect, the Einstein got Nobel Prize. But the sunlight emission gives the voltage was observed by Becquerel. That is the difference between Einstein and Becquerel. So these are the large scale PV module installation for large scale electric power generation, which are mounted on land and stationary systems, not rotating systems. These are placed standstill conditions with some inclination. This type of modules, see here. And what is a PV cell? We already discussed. PV cell is nothing but a solar cell, which is also called a solar cell. This PV cell is a material which can be used to convert sunlight into electrical energy. Then how to construct this PV cell? Means simply it is a semiconductor material here. Here 4 types of layers are there like this. The first layer is the top layer. The top layer of the cell can be formed by using glass or metallic strips and anti-reflective coat. This is the anti-reflective coating on top side. So what is the use of this anti-reflective coating? Means the glass is a guard for the semiconductor material inner the PV cell, which is inner side of PV cell. Semiconductor material is inner side of PV cell. This glass can work as a guard for the semiconductor material against the sunlight. Against the sunlight. To protect the semiconductor material from sunlight, we can use glass guards, or sometimes using metallic strips, or sometimes anti-reflective coating. Anti-reflective coating. So the next part is, after top layer, the next important part of the cell is the middle layer. What is the middle layer? Means in the middle layer it consists of 2 semiconductor layers. Those 2 semiconductor materials are made up of P-type semiconductor material and N-type semiconductor material. You are already well known about this P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor from EDC, electronic devices and circuits, or semiconductor physics. And the third layer is the base layer of the cell consists of 2 parts. Base layer. So here in this layer, rare metallic electrode is beneath the P-type semiconductor and works with the metallic guard to generate an electric current in the top layer. That means simply here in this layer, first part is electrode for the P-type semiconductor and also works with the metallic grid to generate electric current in the top layer. And fourth one is a reflective layer, is the last layer in this cell, used to decrease the loss of light within the system. Here actually 4 layers. This is the top layer, this is the second layer, this is the third layer, this is the fourth layer. This fourth layer, reflective layer, is decrease the loss of light within the system. How the light is lost means due to the mechanisms. That means scattering, absorption, like this. Due to the scattering and absorption, some of the sunlight may be lost. To avoid this problem, we can use a reflective layer. Totally, it is not only a semiconductor material. Along with the semiconductor material, what happened here? 2 more layers are there. to protect the semiconductor material, and to avoid the wastage of sunlight. See here, this is the construction of PV cell. N type silica, P type silica. This is the two electrodes. That's what we are discussing third layer, base layer. So that means what happened here means one is electrode for the top layer and one is for semiconductors. And this is the anti-reflected coating, top layer. This is electrode is fixed for anti-reflected coating. That is we are discussing. P-type semiconductor with, and it works with the metallic grid to generate an electric current in the top layer. So that means here which is connected to the top layer, anti-reflecting coating. And another one is connected to another electrode. Another electrode is connected to the P-type silica. This is the light energy. Fall on the semiconductor material or simply solar panel, PV panel. And how it will work? Simply based upon photovoltaic effects. That means what here is? What is the semiconductor behavior? Once energy from sun falls on the panel, a semiconductor absorbs that energy. When sunlight with the thermal energy, thermal means heat energy. Due to heat, what happens here? Due to heat, excitation takes place for the electrons in N layer, at the same time holes in the P layer. That means due to this excitation, the electrons and holes are able to break the junction between N layer and P layer. And when the junction breakdown can occur, the electrons in the N layer can easily enter in the P layer, and the holes in the P layer can easily enter in the N layer without opposition. That means there is a transfer of electrons and holes in a semiconductor. The electron is a negative charged particle, hole is a positive charged particle. That means due to the transmission of these charged particles, electric current flows to the semiconductor material. The electric current flows to the semiconductor material means there is a closed path is there. Always the electric current traveled from here. It's a holes are moving from this location to this location. So from P-type silicon location to the N-type silicon location, that's why positive in this side. That means there is a closed flow of electrons and holes here. Here electrons are moving from this N-type silicon to the P-type silicon in this direction. That means there is a closed circulation of electrons and holes. Then current flows through this silicon PV panel through this load. And load can collect the electric current developed by the PV panel with the help of dynamics of or transferring of electrons and hole phase in a semiconductor material. This is the basic working of solar cell. And here VI characteristics. See here, very important thing here is generally for PN junction diode, after given the cut-in voltage, when we can increase the forward voltage, the forward current can also increase. But in the PV cell, the current means flow of charged carriers, electrons. When the electrons are moving due to the excitation is a solar radiation, the excitation, light energy, sunlight. So here, when light energy increases, the electron flow increases. That means the electron flow is proportional to the illuminated light, that is intensity of light. Is it? So that means here electron flow means current through the semiconductor material. Current produced from the semiconductor material or solar panel, PV panel. That current produced by the PV panel is proportional to the intensity of light. But when electrons are flows means current takes this. Let me see here. This is current flow from positive to negative. But here, how the potential difference is existing is due to the flow of these electrons, due to the flow of electric current from positive to negative, there is a potential difference between p-type silicon and n-type silicon. That potential difference is nothing but voltage across the PV panel. Voltage across the PV panel. Here, the PV panel voltage is due to the flow of electrons or flow of currents, but not directly produced voltage in the solar panel. This potential difference is existed due to the flow of electrons. That potential difference can be available between p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor. So that's why here this potential difference between PV panel of n-type and semiconductor or between two electrodes is independent of intensity of light. Is independent of intensity of light. So that's why here, when see here, if we can go to characteristics. See here, this is the voltage. When voltage on x-axis, current on y-axis here, we are talking about Im and Vm only. We are talking about Im and Vm only. See here. Potential difference between the panels means the potential difference can be obtained when voltmeter connected between two ends of the solar panel. See here. See here. This is the voltage. When voltage increases, what happens? This current is constant. Why this current is constant means? Current means what? Flow of electrons to the PV panel. How many of electrons flow in a unit time is called current. So here this current can be depends upon intensity of light, intensity of solar radiation. At a particular value of the solar radiation, a particular amount of electrons are flow to the PV panel. Particular amount of electrons means current value is constant at that particular instant of. That means this particular instant of time, this is the current through the solar panel. But potential difference can be changes. Why? Because potential difference means difference between the potentials of electrons. Due to the electron flow, the position of electron is not constant. Position of electron is different, but amount of electron flow is constant. Position of electron is different, but amount of electrons flow is constant for constant solar radiation and constant light intensity of light. So that's why this voltage can be varying. This current is constant. When, see here, this is important. When this open circuit voltage, this is the open circuit voltage. VOC means open circuit. Open circuit means maximum voltage. In open circuit, voltage is maximum, infinity, some ideal case, but practical case maximum. But in this case, under open circuit case, current is zero. Current is zero. That's why ISC fall down. ISC fall down. But if voltage is maximum, and some particular value of voltage, current is like this. Current is like this. And here the power corresponding to the maximum value of current. This is the maximum value of current for constant radiation, constant intensity of light. This is the maximum current produced by the solar panel. And this corresponding power is called maximum power. And this point is called maximum power point. All solar panels can be operated at this point. That means all solar panels can be operated at to collect this solar radiation or sunlight. When this maximum sunlight can be collecting from the sun means that is obtain different types of technical methods. And one important theoretical method is with some inclination we are installed a panel which can collect some maximum radiation and current is maximum, power is maximum. And if the solar panel rotates with respect to the sun direction. Sun is always moving, right? So that's why here solar panel also moving. What happened here means it can collect maximum. That means its position is with respect to the sun in maximum position direction. Then it can collect maximum sun rays. Then maximum current is produced for maximum power. That means this is the significance of maximum power point operation. Is it? At short circuit current, short circuit means infinity current, voltage is zero. Voltage is zero. These are ideal cases. VOC and IC are ideal cases, but practical cases are this rectangular location. Current is constant, but voltage is not constant. So these characteristics are called voltage and current characteristics of PV panel. Voltage and current characteristics of PV panel. Thank you.